Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Hey guys, got my kalimba out. For all of you OG listeners, you know that means that we made a mistake. I made a mistake. I forgot to plug in my microphone this week, so it sounds like I am talking through a washcloth. And also, I did my best, okay, guys? I started doing things that I've never even heard of, like parametric equalizers. It's better than it was, but it's not great. I'm just going to be honest. So, if you would like to skip this week, be my guest. However, I did put a lot of work in for this terrible piece of audio. Okay. Bye.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. Hey. We are here to rant and rave.
Yay. I felt like you were pausing and waiting for me. I was like, no, I'm not going to. Jessica, how was your week?
Oh, it was good. You know what? Wait, was this our first time recording since Thanksgiving, I guess?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Nice. Filled with nothing to report. Had a very quiet, nice Thanksgiving with just a couple of friends, and I worked the rest of the time. There's nothing exciting to report to you.
I don't really have anything exciting in a lovely way to report. We also did Thanksgiving alone, just the three of us. And then also on a good note, this week I did take my little guy to the Polar Express, which was really cool. That was very, very fun. The only thing that happened around Thanksgiving is I made what I would call a life mistake.
Oh.
And I paid the price. I might still be paying the price. The day after Thanksgiving, one of my favorite things to eat leftover-wise, I did make the decision to eat a little bit of turkey because Dan Tipton wanted to get a whole turkey and two people eating a turkey. Whatever. There's a lot of excuses. I felt a little bit of pressure into it. It's okay. It was delicious. I did feel bad later, is what it is. But one of my favorite things to do the day after Thanksgiving is to make a turkey sandwich on white bread with mayonnaise, cold.
Yes.
Love it. So I wanted that, and our mayo was expired. So I went to my friend Google and did some research, and Google swore many times in many different areas of herself that I would be fine. And Google was wrong. She was really wrong. I got so sick in my tummy, in my burpees. I mean, one time, like, burps were just coming out before we even started in the green room burp. The green room dump. I accidentally burped right into the microphone right at you, and I didn't feel it coming. It's like a child with vomit. I have no idea it's coming. It just happens. Okay.
You've never done that in as long as I've known you.
No, I'm not a big burper. I'm like, excuse me, gross, whatever, right? It was one time I woke myself up in the middle of the night with a foul odor. Another time I burped, middle of broad daylight. You know, I was walking, so I walked into it, and it was like I was walking through a cave of 1,000 farts. Like, it smelled, because mayo is made of egg whites. They're whipped egg whites. So it was just constant rotten egg smell coming from my body for days.
Oh.
Days.
Did you throw up?
No, I did not. Thank God it was not that kind of. But it was unpleasant, unnecessary. I willfully chose to eat that expired mayonnaise because I believed in Google. And she's a liar.
This comes up all the time with Alan, where I'm like, do you think this is still okay? Well, I ask Alan constantly. I'm like, do you think this is still okay? Or he always gets mad at me and tells everyone when the clock strikes midnight on November 1st, if that's when it says sell by, Jessica throws it in the trash. You're darn right I do.
See, I don't. And my dad is the worst. We tease my dad. We say we don't go to his house and eat anything out of the fridge he offers us until we check the date.
Well, I will say this. I have gotten better, depending on what it is. But again, I'm like, oh, if it's yogurt, I'm like, well, that's still dairy, but yogurt is kind of like a living thing, whatever. Yeah. I open it, I smell it, it looks fine, it smells fine, I eat it. Okay?
Okay, well, let me tell you this. If mayonnaise is opened and expired, let's just say by over 30 days.
Yes.
It will smell all right. It smelled fine. And it was not.
Oh, it did.
It smelled fine.
So I will tell you something that you should do that I have started doing with condiments, right? Because that is something that you do not use all the time, depending on what it is, or you use a portion, right? It's going to be left over, obviously. I don't care if it's a bottle of ketchup that's filled with sugar and preservatives or whatever it is. Every time that I open mayo, mustard, a dressing, I take a Sharpie and I write on the cap, or if it's one of those labels that I can write on it or on the glass, I write the date I opened it. And that may seem like, well, why would you need to do that? I'll tell you why. I went to grab some ranch out of my fridge and I'm like, this has been open since May. This is going in the trash. So even though it may say it's good through... No, but once you've opened it, that's what I always argue with Alan. I'm like, he goes, it's good through February 2023. I said, if it's been sealed, fool. Once it's been opened, it's not like good for a year once it's been open.
I may have to agree with Alan. But also, I'm the woman that walked through a burp that smelled like the cave of 1,000 farts. So maybe I'm not the best person to listen to.
So nasty.
I mean, I thought I was going to fall over from my own burp. And it's not even like I went and like really ate it up myself. It was just a natural like, oh God.
You just laughed like Fire Marshal Bill from Living Color, okay?
It was traumatic.
I'm sure.
And it was traumatic in a lot of different ways. It was just not... I still would not say I'm completely normal. And it's days, like almost a week out. Because Dan Tipton, now, he went to Google and we've already established she's a liar. But he's like, yeah, food poisoning. You could have it for up to a week. Like,
well, I made a Thanksgiving leftover.
Yeah?
I made a leftover sandwich because of you sending me. I almost called him the Earl of Sandwich. What's it called? Sandwiches of History?
Sandwiches of History. I love him.
The Moist Maker.
No.
So I know. I made that. I made it. Wow. Well, I was inspired by it. Mine did not have arugula or a third piece of bread, but I did heat up that turkey in gravy, add stuff, and...
But that moist maker, that third piece of bread, I know he said in the video it's not necessary, but it did seem like a really active portion of the moist.
I know. I'm sure it did help.
But
I did cranberry. Yes.
It's soaked in gravy. Gravy? Gravy.
I know.
Oh my God. I knew you would love him. How did you plus it up?
Cranberry sauce. I almost used my truffled mayo, but I decided that would be flavor clashing. So I just went with straight mayo, cranberry sauce, a lot of stuff in, and then I reheated the turkey in gravy. I decided to make it a hot sandwich instead of cold.
And then it
did not disappoint.
Did you give it a go? That's what he always says. He has t-shirts that even say, let's give it a go.
I love it.
I love him so much. Oh, I'm glad you finally took some inspiration from him.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yes, of course. And now we are barreling towards the holidays.
We are.
The Kwanzas, all of the different holiday celebrations.
Hanukkah.
Which I would let you say it. It seems weird for me to claim Hanukkah when you were sitting right here. But it just ended up being like the most awkward pause ever. I'm like, I'm not Kanye, I swear.
Oh, Lord, let's not open that Pandora's box, okay?
He's been busy today. Whew.
Yeah. Hanukkah falls during Christmas time this year. It's from the 18th to the 26th.
Wow.
It's different every year.
Yes.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
It has.
That's fun.
Sometimes it's even early. Like there was one year where it was over Thanksgiving, which I think happens like once every 100 years or something. So
what's the first day again? You said the 18th?
The 18th. Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice. Very
and let me tell y'all, little quick plug, because they really need the advertising. Target's Hanukkah game is on fleek, y'all. Like,
is it?
They have the cutest stuff that's not cheesy. So many people that try to do Hanukkah stuff, it's cheesy and it's never going to be anything like what we see for Christmas and whatnot, just because for a number of reasons, right? And
right, yeah.
But what they have is so freaking cute, and they have menorahs for $5 that are ceramic.
Oh.
I got one of a dog that I'm giving to a friend, and I treated myself to a whale menorah. Okay?
Oh.
$5. So cute. And they have like really cute for the first year ever Hanukkah pajamas for kids, like they have for Christmas pajamas. It's real cute, real fun. Really big hats off to Target for the representation. I even went to one where I was not expecting, because each store is slightly different depending on the area and demographic. I went to one where they had an aisle the size of the Christmas aisle of Hanukkah stuff. Like my mouth was on the ground. My friend was like, "You need to move along." I was like, "I can't. It was like a wonderland. I couldn't believe it.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. This is actually perfect timing to lead into my rant just in time for the holidays, because I'd like to know, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be fully on board with me with this. Have you been experiencing the new bot terminals, as I call it? It's not a bot, but now you have to self-check out whether you want to or not. I'm not talking about the choice at a Target or a Ralph's or a grocery or whatever.
Yeah.
Some businesses are taking away the people.
Yes. I have been witness to that for longer, I think, because it started happening in Missouri before it happened out here, which is weird.
Really?
I don't know why.
Yeah, it is weird.
Sometimes when I go home, there's no option. It's just a bot thing. But then also they're just starting to do that in restaurants. Are you aware of that as well? Like fast food restaurants.
Yes, and I hate it. So that has happened to me in multiple places, including when we went to, now I remember quickly, I went to the Hollywood Christmas Parade. It was as bad as it was the last 2 years. I've talked about it. That's all I'll say about that. We stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. There's 4 people behind the counter. Okay, they're all young. They're all just talking to each other. Not one of them acknowledged a customer. Not one of them said hello. Not one of them said, "Hi, we have a new system. Can I show you how to use it?" All standing back there just talking. The line ended up just boop, 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 just growing by the second, was out the door. No one bats an eye. No one helped. And there was one screen to order. So I'm not a fool. And I'm aware of how to do it. It even took me a little bit of time because I'm like, well, what if you need a modification? meaning you don't want whipped cream or you want to add a shot. Or my personal favorite from my days on the East Coast, half hot chocolate, half coffee. It's very common on the East Coast at Dunkin', which is their new name, by the way. If you didn't know, they've dropped the donuts because that was necessary.
Right.
It makes me furious. Makes me furious.
I'm like, you're not Prince, okay, Dunkin' Donuts.
It's just Dunkin'. I hate it so much. So I said to that guy,
Boston are obsessed. People in Boston are obsessed, and they call it 100%. The Dunks. That's what Kristen Marie calls it. I'm going by the Dunks.
All they want is Dunkin'. They don't recognize anything else. Dunkin' Donuts was my first job.
Oh,
I worked 6 a.m. till noon, and my friend and I made a collected total of tips, enabling us to each pick an item off the dollar menu at Taco Bell and buy a stale pack of Marlboro Lights out of the cigarette machine.
Gross.
So gross.
Yeah.
Back to Dunkin'.
Yeah.
I'm like, hello. And I literally, like the old lady, I'm like, excuse me. And the guy's like, yeah. I'm like, what if I have a modification? What if I want this to be? He goes, just tell us. Then what's the point of having the stupid iPad?
Yeah.
Okay. So I still had to order through that and then tell them, oh, with this one, do this one, do that. So stupid, so ineffective. I had to do it again at Michael's. I was at Michael's the other day. And I said, excuse me, what if you're a rewards member? Oh, just do this, blah, 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 and you have to sign in. I didn't want to have to sign into their stupid terminal. Then I'm like, what about a coupon? And then it was the whole thing to do this. And I said to her, I go, look, I'm in retail too. I know this has nothing to do with you, so please don't think I'm making a comment to you. But I can't be the only one that's really not happy with what's going on here. I said, number one, I like interacting with people. I said, second of all, I'm fast. And this just took me a long time to get everything scanned and done and wrapped. When you could have been ringing it and I would have happily wrapped for you for my breakable stuff. But I said, the average person, especially someone who's older, I'm thinking about people my parents' age.
Our parents.
They're not going to be able to do this.
They're never going to get through that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
She's like, I know.
My dad still can't book a flight on his own. We still have to book his flight for him.
Okay.
Well,
it's
the first
crazy.
time I used one of those was at a McDonald's, and it was the same thing. No one would even look at me. And I was stuck because I had a modification for Henry. I needed it totally plain. And I was just staring at them, and I finally went, hello. And they were annoyed with me because I had a question about how to order my food that I was paying them to make.
Yes. Like, you interrupted their social time.
Something, yeah. God knows they weren't taking orders. For many of us. But that's the thing too, like drive-thrus have gotten to the point now where you see a long drive-thru, and this happened to me the other night at a Wendy's. We were all sitting at that order box for at least 5 to 10 minutes each, and it was making people furious. People were leaving, people were blocking traffic, people were getting in fights, and there was no one at the window. So when I finally got up to the window, I said, I realize you guys are under a lot of stress. I said, but you're making people even more difficult by leaving us sitting at that talk box for 5 minutes because the people behind them get mad, think that they're just dilly-dallying. Then they're mad at you when they realize it's you keeping us here. You're causing a mega problem, and it's also almost causing wrecks. Like, just let us order and line up. We'll wait here. We'll pull forward. Whatever you need us to do, don't leave us sitting there.
Yes.
And she was like, I'm sorry, there's 2 of us here. And I said, no, I'm sorry. That's not fair. Your business should not put 2 people in a fully working, busy dinner time place. Period. That should never happen. If one person calls in sick, there shouldn't be 2 people left. Ever. You don't give us any ketchup unless we ask. You don't give us straws or napkins unless we ask. Somebody's making money. Hire another person. Okay?
Okay. I mean, you are bringing up a point that I didn't think about. And because places are so understaffed, in a way, I wanted to be like, oh my God, are they doing this because they can't get workers? Maybe it is. But to be honest, I don't think it is.
These take care of them. They don't pay them well or take care of them well.
And these massive corporations Don't tell me that you can't have a third person in that restaurant. There should be someone at all times on the drive-through window and doing nothing but that. Then you have somebody dealing with all the drinks. You have a fry cook.
There should be someone at these new bot order things for the first year of their existence to say, do you need any help? It's like when you go to the grocery store or Target or anywhere and there's self-checkouts, there's still a person working there where you go, can I have a bag? Hey, my screen locked up. Like, that's what needs to be everywhere because robots are not perfect.
Correct.
I mean, let's not even get into the fact that San Francisco wants to give police robots explosives and guns. We won't even go there. I'm sorry, robots aren't perfect. You can't just trust them. Not with a food order and certainly not with explosives.
It's crazy. I hate it. And when you sent me that article, my head almost exploded because that actually scares the living daylights out of me.
Oh, it's terrifying. Yeah. But that's where we're headed. And listen, sometimes I like a self-checkout because sometimes I am faster than other people. But not always. And if the terminals are not working correctly, it does nothing but cause anger.
Correct. So it was just nuts. And again, the line at Michael's was huge. It wasn't. I walked up, no one was there. By the time I was done and I had a cart full of stuff, you know how many people were now waiting behind me? Not one person to ring. There was 3 iPad terminals at different registers, and that's what you could do. Wait until that was done. Also, I'm like, excuse me, do you have any tissue? Like, because I was buying ceramic and glass and stuff for a client. I can't just put that in a bag and let it all smash together.
Absolutely not.
Ugh, I hate it.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a good rant. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I've got one. I've got one to read here. Been thinking about this a lot, and I need to know why any clothing whatsoever, including leggings, would be made with fake pockets. So many whys, all in caps and question marks. And while we're on the subject, why is expensive clothing sold with pockets sewn shut? Oh my God, yes. You know how many years I did not know that was the case and just didn't have use of the pockets? No joke. I think that's happened to me once because I've never had expensive clothes. Like, I can't afford them. I think it was for a job or something. And they were like, let's cut those pockets open. I was like, what? What?
Yep.
I thought they were for fakesies. That's even a completely different subject than why have women's clothing not had pockets for decades, like centuries? Like, what? It's obvious that we have always wanted them because we are all posting on our Instagrams and everything, and it has pockets. Whenever I wear a dress now, there's the first thing I say to another lady when she's like, "Oh, I love your dress." I go, "Thank you," and it has pockets.
I do that too.
Magical thing that was just created in 2021. Yep. No, we've just always wanted them, and it didn't cross our minds that we were just being deprived. Well, you have purses. Maybe we wouldn't if we had pockets. Men don't carry purses. They've always had pockets. And here's the thing, too. When a man, how many times has this happened? A man come to you, do you have a Kleenex? Do you have any lotion? Do you have any chapstick? Do you have any Yeah, I sure do. Why? Because I have a purse. If I had pockets, I might not be carrying all that shit, and we'd all have to take care of ourselves. Stop it. It's the patriarchy. I swear to God.
It is. And I've even, forget about leggings or jeggings where they try to make it, it's like, what, you think it looks cute to have a fake pocket? I've had actual jeans that don't have pockets. Looks like it. And there ain't nothing to rip open.
No. I've had jeans the back pockets don't open, nor do the front pockets.
Yes.
I can't.
So then I can't wear them. You got to at least put your phone in there for crying out loud.
I've worn them, but I'll tell you, it made me mad every time I touched my body. Because when you touch your body, you're going to look for a pocket. You're like, I want to put my phone in there. I want to put my chapstick in there. I want to put this piece of paper in there instead of throwing it on the ground. I mean, listen, I don't have it as bad as some women, because I have huge boobs and I hide tons of things in my cleavage. Like my bra, left and right cup is just pocket 1 and pocket 2. When I take my bra off in the night, things fall off of my body that I have shoved in there throughout the day. Like, I'll be like, I can't find my card, like my debit card. And I'll be like, it'll turn up when I strip tonight.
And then it's imprinted because it has been stuck against your. Yes, I do it too.
And then if Dan Tipton happens to be in the room when I'm putting on my jammies, he's like, things are falling from your bra. I'm sure that's super sexy. I'm a human pocket.
Hilarious.
But it's because we don't have them in our clothes. Like, I have this sweatshirt on with a front muff pocket. I think that's what you call them, right? That's what they. Remember, we had muffs when we were kids that we put our little hands into.
Yes.
My favorite coat had a little white furry muff with blue trim. Oh,
it came with it, or it was in the front of the coat.
No, it came with it as a separate little purse attachment. It went over your. How come we don't have stuff like that as adults?
What? I need to see a picture of you in that. It looks so cute.
I don't think they had pictures back then. But yeah, it matched. It came with my coat and it matched it. And it was like a little purse unto itself, but it was a muff, which for you young people, a muff is not your coochie. It's this little open-ended pocket thing that you put your hands inside to keep them warm.
A fur-covered barrel of sorts.
Yes, that you just slide your hands.
Cylinder, not a barrel. It's so cute.
Why do you think those rich people sew up their pockets and just expect us to know to slice them open?
Honestly, if anyone listening is a tailor or works in clothing or fashion, we are all ears. I need to know because I can't tell you how many times I would have back in the day when I would wear, like, say, a pencil skirt or a blazer or whatever. That little flap that's supposed to open and have you not feel like you're in a sardine can. I didn't know those opened up. And somebody was like, what is wrong with you? And I think it was maybe a costume teacher in college came with her seam ripper and ripped it open. Yeah. The pockets in the blazer, the kick pleat, whatever it's called, in the back of the skirt, the back of a jacket. Yeah. Ay. What's the point?
I don't know, but boys do know this, I think. Or maybe it's just because Dan Tipton knew that. He wore a lot of suit coats and stuff when he was young. He did cotillion and all that. But now I'm still thinking, that's rich people habits. You're born with that rich people knowledge. Dan Tipton wore Guess jeans and had a gold chain with his turtleneck. Rich.
Shut up. I just pictured him every inch from head to toe. Do you know I begged my mother, and when I tell you begged for a pair of Guess jeans before I went to my bougie ass sleepaway camp where all the kids were rich and they all wore Guess jeans, not me. I was in my mom jeans by Lee. You think Lee jeans were cool? No, my mom was like, over my dead body, are you wearing Guess jeans to get ruined at a month at camp?
Oh my God.
I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids who took that really personally. Like, that was not important, but you would have thought that I had my arm cut off when I was told that I wouldn't be wearing my Guess jeans to camp. Wow. The Guess jeans that I didn't own. P.S.
I was going to say, I didn't even own any. The only thing I ever remember being, like, sort of damaged by on that level was, I don't know if you remember, Liz Claiborne perfume was so popular.
Of course.
And I really did want that perfume. And I still have weird issues surrounding perfumes and scents. Like, just a few years ago, I had to tell myself, no, you use it. You don't save it till it turns to pure alcohol. That's not the point of it.
Right? It actually turns like a dark amber. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it'll smell like alcohol. So I had to tell myself, no, this is for using. Same with candles. No, they are for burning. You don't just keep them without burning them till you die and pass them on to your children. They don't want them. They don't want your candles. They don't want your 50-year-old candles.
Oh my God. I'm totally picturing that Liz Claiborne triangle. I even remember the top of it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Triangle in the center, so you can see the liquid of the.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I loved that. Oh my God,
red, yellow, like that color aesthetic. It was so specific.
Yep, I still have my Liz Claiborne wallet. They made like a small wallet, and that was like a really coveted item at my school. And I remember I got one. I had like asked for my birthday or for Hanukkah or something, and I got it, and I just thought I was the shit.
No joke. I don't think I even had a wallet till I was 27, and I bought it myself.
By the way, I don't know why me or anyone my age needed one back then. What, to put a couple of dollars in it? We didn't have credit cards. They didn't even have debit cards back then. I got a debit card in college when they were first invented.
Which is crazy because my son has a debit card now. He has his own bank account.
I mean, that's good.
But I swear to God, I did that because I didn't. I want him to learn at a young age to respect his money that he has and learn how to manage it. Like, nobody ever taught me this, and it's certainly not something taught in our public school system, which is mind-blowing to me.
Yep.
Like,
money management.
You want me to remember the Pythagorean theorem, but you're not going to teach me how to, like, live for the rest of my life?
Yeah, it's
how
true.
Did we get to the Pythagorean theorem? How did we get to the Pythagorean theorem from not having pockets?
Is that part of geometry? Because that's another class that I failed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think so. Yeah. I feel like I just read a book somewhere once. I don't know. Oh, man. But you know what? I may not know math, but I'll watch 1,000,001 documentaries. So I'm just filled with other kinds of knowledge. And guess what? I guess it's not pocket knowledge because I didn't know that rich people hid their pockets from us before they bought their clothes so we can get our dirty little pudgy fingers inside there before they put them in their rich closets. Is that the pettiest thing I've ever said?
So ridiculous.
Stop hiding your pockets. We see them.
Give me all of them.
We're not smart enough to open them up. We're not smart enough to open them up unless somebody tells us, but we see them.
I even use that teeny little pocket in my jeans. That's where I shove an elastic for my hair. Any pair of jeans I have, there's always an elastic in there.
I put earrings in there one time that I didn't want to lose because they were like little diamonds, and I think it was on a job or something. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't lose them, but I did pierce my stomach. So I just felt it. You know that feeling of like the breakaway when skin breaks? I just felt it pierce, and I was like, no, God. Yeah, so don't put your earrings in that tiny pocket.
No.
Just another way for the patriarchy to keep us down.
Okay. Or they'd get washed right away and washed away in the laundry.
I wash things that I shouldn't be all the time because I shove in pockets.
Me too. And sometimes they miraculously work and come out fine. I'm like, how is this fine after getting submerged and soaked in water and then on a very high heat setting?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just give me all the pockets, okay?
Just give me all the pockets and I want them open. Okay?
I do.
Stop acting like you're hiding national secrets in there. Just open up the pockets. All right, should we do a cleansing breath?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I got a little more riled up about pockets than I actually expected. Maybe it's because I took myself on a journey where I was like, I hate rich kids. I'm not a child anymore. What's wrong with me? Okay, well, this is the staple of our show. We rant out the silly things. We get more upset than we expected, apparently. And then we take a cleansing breath. We blow all of that out. And we spend the rest of the time filling up with goodness and good news and laughter and fun times. So if you can scream it out, I always suggest it. It feels great. Just don't hurt your throat. If not, at least breathe. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Take a deep breath in. Yay. Wasn't that lovely?
Dana always looks so peaceful and closes her eyes and does a very mindful breath. I'm like,
yeah.
I look like the cocaine bear trying to take it all in.
Don't speak of Cocaine Bear. I was going to mention that at the end of the show.
Okay. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Stick around. That is a pretty great teaser, Cocaine Bear.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get into corners, and we will come back to Cocaine Bear, I promise.
That's right. So this is one of our newly named corners. Blinded me with science.
With science. Love it.
This is so insane. And again, you are going to always hear us marveling about these new technologies. By the way, that girl that we raved or spoke about recently, the young teen that created her headphones that cure ear infections. When I tell you that is like blowing up on every single news site, she's getting a lot of coverage, and I am so happy. And I hope that means that some money will really go behind this, and this will hopefully be something that is in people's hands sooner than not, instead of 20 years from now.
Correct.
So this is absolutely mesmerizing. This is from thelogicalindian.com. That is the name of the site. And the article is called Australian University Develops World's First Bionic Eye to Fully Restore Vision in Blind People. What?
Unbelievable. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
This is written by Ankita Singh. Scientists around the world have been conducting research to find a cure for individuals suffering from blindness. Various bionic solutions found so far have not yet been able to help blind individuals on a larger scale. The team at Monash University claims that they have built a system through which blind people would be able to see again. According to them, this is the world's first bionic eye. The bionic eye, dubbed Genaris Bionic Vision System, has been under development for nearly a decade now. It works by bypassing damaged optic nerves to allow signals to be transmitted from the retina to the vision center of the brain. What?
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. It's directly communicating with the brain.
It's so fascinating. The user would have to wear a custom-designed headgear that has a camera and a wireless transmitter installed. A set of 9mm tiles are implanted in the brain that receive the signals from the aforementioned receiver. Arthur Lowry, professor at Monash University's Department of Electrical and Computer Systems Engineering, said, "Our design creates a visual pattern from combinations of up to 172 spots of light, which provides information for the individual to navigate indoor and outdoor environments and recognize the presence of people and objects around them." Further, researchers are looking to advance their system to help people with untreatable neurological conditions like limb paralysis and quadriplegia.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. It makes me want to cry.
Wow.
I know someone who has a son that's been wheelchair bound for almost 20 years from a horrible accident to his spine, and he has not been able to walk. And I'm just trying to picture if there was a time in this lifetime that someone would maybe be able to walk again. Oh my God. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'll tell you, I do believe that may come to pass in our lifetime, only because if you look at the last 20 years of technology in our lifetime, it's been more rapid than any other time in history. Like,
yes,
the ascension of our technology is absolutely mind-blowing.
You're right.
So, who knows?
Computers, medical discoveries, all this stuff. It says, if successful, the MVG, Monash Vision Group team, will look to create a new commercial enterprise focused on providing a vision to people with untreatable blindness and movement to the arms of people paralyzed by quadriplegia, transforming their health care. With this system, there is some light at the end of the tunnel for those who have lost their vision, and they might be able to view or experience things through the bionic eye. Researchers have been successful with results in sheep with minimal side effects where it was safely implanted into their brains. They are now preparing to take it to the next level for its first ever human clinical trial that is expected to be conducted in Melbourne. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, that's a really, really incredible corner. Yeah.
I'm curious if, and maybe it doesn't matter, and I know there's different things that can cause blindness, but I wonder if it's something that will be able to be used for people who may have gradually lost their sight due to things like our friend EJ has choroideremia, or my grandmother had macular degeneration, things like that start to greatly affect the vision and eventually do lead to blindness. Will it help things like that? But also, could it help a child who is born blind? Somebody who's never seen. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely mesmerizing, and I am so excited to see where this goes. It's really kind of mind-blowing.
Absolutely. It's really, really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica.
Yes.
My corner this week, let me just tell you what our friend Jessica wrote. My corner is from the mirror.co.uk, which is a favorite of Jessica's, but Jessica wanted to go ahead and give it her own title. It's a what the what corner, which is great. What the what? That's normal. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jessica, that she added her own little bonus to the title of this corner where it says, "Get to the Point-settia." I don't know what's happening to you and where you're. Don't tip your imaginary hat at me.
Guilty as charged, madam.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, you are guilty, but there has been no respect paid. Do not tip your hat. No, ma'am. Your pun game is out of this world right now. And I don't know if it's related to our aging. I don't know if it's related. I don't know what it's related to, but it hasn't always been there. And not only are you enjoying it, you're absolutely reveling in it. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Okay. This is from the Mirror. Let me see. It's written by Danielle Kate Rowe, a lifestyle writer. Skin expert warns commonly bought Christmas decoration could make your hair fall out. If you're a fan of poinsettias, it's not great news because it turns out that the sap from them could actually cause hair loss. Experts have warned to stay away from them, which is funny because last year Alan bought us those huge poinsettias and I was trimming mine and it has a white sap. And I was like, I wonder if I should not touch this. I wonder if it's skin irritating. Well, it could have made me bald. Okay, here we go.
I'm freaking out. Go on.
Decorating your house for Christmas can be really fun. Putting up it's not that fun. I mean, even if you have a kid, it's still a job. I'm sorry. I had to interrupt. Okay. Putting up the wreath, decorating the tree, purchasing your poinsettias symbolizes the start of the festive period. You may choose to get ultra festive and have a mulled wine or a hot chocolate. As you deck the halls, and Mariah Carey is, of course, compulsory. I do love that song. I don't care, that's not for Christmas. Okay. But you may want to be ultra careful this year when choosing your decorations, as a hair expert has said a popular Christmas decoration can make your hair fall out if it touches your scalp. If it touches your scalp, okay. Poinsettias are common in Christmassy homes, but the sap can cause irritation, see, I was right, and hair loss. Sam Thinky Jr., Sam Clinker CEO. I
don't know why. Oh my God.
I don't know. Sinky Jr. It says Clinker CEO. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. And then I got tickled. I couldn't stop. I'm so sorry, Mr. Clinker. Anyway, he's very important. He's leading skin and hair clinic at the Estee Medical Group. He explained that the sticky substance can shockingly have a similar effect to commercial hair loss products such as Veet.
What?
That's like Nair. He explained the festive foliageous sap contains chemicals that have a depilatory effect and remove the hair shaft, meaning it could have the same dissolving effect as hair removal creams. While this is unlikely to happen without prolonged contact, it's important to wash your hands thoroughly to avoid any chance of temporary hair loss. Poinsettias, with their vibrant red and green leaves, are indigenous to Central America and have become a firm symbol of Christmas since the last century. Their star-shaped leaves are often associated with the Star of David, which led the 3 wise men to Jesus. Despite the fact that they look gorgeous and can grow up to 4 meters high, and their sap, or latex, can easily be seen if you snap one of the leaves in half. Gokhan Valni, hair loss and transplant expert at the Vera Clinic, explained further, if the sap is left on any part of the body with hair, including the scalp, for a long period of time, it can cause hair loss when wiped away. As the plants are popular in homes this time of year, I would especially recommend leaving them out of reach of young children. If you do come into close contact or touch the plant's sap, always thoroughly wash your hands to remove any residue. As quickly as possible, if irritation occurs, contact an emergency number or a GP. I do want to go on record as saying, I doubt a lot of people are like slathering it on themselves. And to keep it away from children is good, because what if they ingest it? However, if a child went bald, they're still young. They don't have as many consequences to suffer. And it might be funny. It might be a good Christmas memory.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell you something right now. Number one, this is something that I had a big argument with my boss about years ago. We were decorating a huge famous client's house for Christmas. Now, there's a lot of things that we all want to do or we think would look neat, right? And then you realize maybe you shouldn't. That includes cutting poinsettias to make them in a vase. Okay. Now they're beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. I made a ton of small arrangements with the hot pink poinsettia. There's nothing prettier. Ooh. It's outrageous. Okay. Like there are varieties, not just the white and the red ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
The minute I cut, that white sap started oozing out. Her answer was for me to burn the ends to close it off. So I'm wondering now, even though I didn't wear any on my head, is that what caused my hair loss over the last several years? I'll tell you another thing. I'll be going to buy a poinsettia when we finish this recording and rubbing it all over my neck, under my nose, and pretty much my entire face. The Yeti special. It's gone from the Wolfman special to the Yeti special for wintertime. I am all in. That's a lot more cost effective. It's a lot more cost effective than a bottle of Nair, I can assure you. It smells better too. Maybe I'll put some in all the men I know's ears or under their eyebrows. Sheesh.
Under their eyebrows. You're like, clean it up, guys. Clean it up.
A natural hair remover? I'm all in on you, poinsettia.
Okay, but it said it can cause skin irritation too, so maybe don't go all in.
You know what? I would rather be red and streaked like I already am than look like a wild boar. Okay?
You don't.
Dear God.
Well, don't listen. Coming from a girl who got her advice from Google, I would say don't do some research before you end up doing that, because I followed Google and she was wrong. So,
well, I'm following the mirror.uk.
Oh, so much more reliable.
The British tabloids don't lie.
Oh. I'm not sure I believe that, Jessica. Why, because they have an accent? You think because their accent makes them more believable? I don't know that the accent comes through on the internet. All right. Well, we're getting ready to move into our favorite part of the show, which is the raves and all the goodness. Before we do that, since we went right into rants, would you mind telling everybody how they can get a hold of us?
You read my mind, and I thought about that after we were done. And I'm like, well, guess it's too late. Now that's on me.
No, you were ready. You were ready.
You guys, you can find us, and many of you have, on Facebook and Instagram at the rantsandravespodcast.com. Please message us, send us funny things, message. I'm going to start talking in circles like I always do at this. Just find us on social media. Okay, that's how people communicate these days. All right? Twitter, bye-bye, no more. Who cares? You can email us directly at the rantsandravespodcast@gmail.com. You can go to the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. And please follow us on TikTok at the Rants and Raves P. That's all they'll allow us to write. So it's the Rants and Raves P. It ends there. And then on YouTube, please find us and subscribe. Again, you can listen audio-wise on any of your platforms. We're pretty much on every one that's ever existed. But if you'd like to get a touch of the funnies and watch this insanity unfold, you can. And thank you for those who have been watching and sending in your feedback and your well wishes. We love you. We appreciate your support. And take a peek and let us know what you think.
Yeah, I have to admit, because of my mayonnaise disaster last week, I didn't get a bunch of our little clips up. But I am going to be throwing some of those up, and I'm going to throw them up whenever. Yeah. And those are just little snippets from the show. If you have a friend that you've been like, I'm telling you, I think you'd like these girls. They're our people. They're our tribe. And you can't get them on board. Maybe you can just shoot them one of these little snippet clips, and they'll be like, "Oh, these are my people," and they'll come aboard.
Exactly.
Whatever we're doing, it's working. We're growing right now at a rate that I wasn't expecting. So thank you for your support.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone who encouraged us, Jay, to get into video.
Yes. Our man Jay. It is
definitely paying off. I know, he's the best. So anyway, and he was right. I was like, nobody wants to watch a couple of old ladies talk more than they want to just listen. And maybe I was wrong. Not like we're not viral by any means. But even if we get 11 views on a video, I'm like, 11 people wanted to see my face? What? So thank you. All right, let's get on into the good stuff.
Yes. So this is Rave through something that the post office does, and then also this other group that works in conjunction with USPS. I love it. Again, at the holidays, look, we are all about spreading good cheer and doing what we can for others year round. The holidays, maybe it's something you can, when you have some time off work, do one little nice thing. It's also a great thing to teach your children. I have a lot of friends who every year, either on Thanksgiving and or Christmas Day, get up and they start their morning by feeding the homeless at a soup kitchen. And they're like, it's so important because we have everything we need. And I want my children to understand that everyone is not as fortunate. And it's a really nice way to give back. So we're big proponents of doing things that don't have to cost you any money, but do require your time. And that's all we can ask, right? So this is a fantastic thing. I already signed up to do it. So I'm waiting to get my email. I got my confirmation.
Yay.
This is Be an Elf. This year, make a child's Christmas by answering their letter to Santa. Select USPS postal branches. Keep letters for Santa in a room so volunteers can read the letters and buy Christmas presents for them. Generally, letters written by underprivileged kids are usually chosen. You can find a participating postal branch near you on the Be an Elf organization's website. So, beanelf.org. They have Operation Santa locations. In 2019, the USPS program changed, and the letters may now be adopted online across the USA. See our locations page and our home page for the latest info. Please support BNELF and our mission by clicking. I don't know. It's crazy.
Why can't we read?
Your contribution will help us get needy kids more gifts in time for Christmas. Now, again, I know I was saying, oh, you don't have to. There are options to actually purchase a gift for the child. You do not have to do that. Oh, okay. They are also looking for people to answer the letters written to Santa. Okay. So that is also through another site, which is through USPS Operation Santa, where they are looking for people to reply to the letters. Because if you don't already know this, I don't remember what it is, but it's hundreds of thousands of letters are received every year by the post office addressed to Santa at the North Pole. So I love it. If you have the time and want to write even just one letter, but go on the site, check it out. You can volunteer. You could get a group of people together with a bunch of friends maybe and spend an hour or two and write some kids back some letters. Right?
A little wine party with your girlfriends and write some letters back.
Exactly.
Cute.
And I will always say this. I don't think like, oh, because a kid's in need of a gift, they just can get some crap from some. I'm talking in circles. I'm going to like talk out of line, which is not shocking. Oh my God. Let me just cut to the chase, y'all. I went in Big Lots for the first time ever the other day, and they have Barbie dolls for $10. Okay. Yeah. Real Barbies. I'm not saying everything has to be a name brand or anything like that, but it's not like some toy that costs $1 that you don't know where it's from and whatever. It's Barbie, $10. Okay. And they have stuff for $5. They have great options. So while we're on that subject, Starbucks usually always has drives that go for like Toys for Tots. The Marines always have things set up on our local news. I keep saying they're like, this week we'll be at the West Covina Mall accepting unwrapped gifts. And I always wondered, why do they want them unwrapped? I want to wrap the gift. Well, hello. They need to see what it is. Okay.
Right.
They got to be like, oh, this is a doll. So we're going to give this to Susie Q, who maybe asked for a doll. Things like that. Right. You can see I'm like a bumbling fool today. That's all I will say. Check out Operation Santa through the USPS and bnelf.org. Thank you.
I really love that. I love that so much.
So
That's
cute.
Great. Thank you. I know. Thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't even know that existed.
Indeed. I didn't either.
I love it.
Me too.
Okay. Well, my rave this week is a little, it's just a story, but it's so lovely. I love it. Did you title this, Jessica?
Maybe.
Keep smiling, keep shining. That's what keep smiling, keep shining. No one here can
always count on me. Come on, baby.
That's what friends are for. Okay, I better.
I'll be the Dionne Warwick to your Gladys Knight any day.
Oh, thanks, Jessica. Here we go. Best friends win $1 million lottery and spread the wealth in hometown to help others. I couldn't, as soon as I read the title, I was like, what? Almost crying. Besties Joanne McQueen and Marlisa Mercer won $1 million playing the lottery and immediately decided to keep the good vibes rolling by giving heaps and heaps of it away to the community. Identifying several causes and charities in their hometown of Aurelia in the Canadian province of Ontario to give fat checks to. Local news reports it's making a huge difference. First of all, McQueen describes the moment that she scanned her ticket at the Lotto Max machine at her neighborhood Shoppers Drug Mart. There was no ring-a-ding-ding. Indeed, there were no sounds at all. The screen simply read 1 million and a free play. She recalls being stunned and that she began to shake. It was pretty cool. She remembers. They donated varying amounts to places that McQueen's brother, who died recently due to alcoholism, might have accessed during his life, which included Soldiers Memorial Hospital, the Aurelia SPCA, and the Fairley Foundation, an Ontario-based charity that helps low-income pet owners take care of their animals. Oh, my God. They also donated to the Salvation Army, the Royal Canadian Legion Puppy Campaign in Aurelia, Mariposa House Hospice, love it, the Comfy Cat Shelter, and the Sharing Place Food Center, which helps the economically disadvantaged get access to nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables. Quote, they are completely focused on how they can help make this community a better place through this win, end quote. Chris Peacock, executive director of the Sharing Place, told Local News. Not many people win $1 million and have the core goal of spending it on others and improving their community. For the Comfy Cat Shelter, the $10,000 check they received was the 5th highest donation in the no-kill shelter's history. It covers our vet bill for October, and it gives us money for more spay and neuters, said the shelter manager. She described it as fantastic and bringing her to tears. Aurelia Matters reports that the pair plan to split the remainder among their family and friends, as well as take care of some renovations. I mean... I can't. And here's these ladies, like, look at them, cuties, just out being besties and handing out happiness and goodness. I just love it. I mean, they could have remained quiet, split it amongst themselves and lived out their years pretty comfortably. They were like, nah, man, we want to give back. This community built us and we are going to build it more. I don't know. I just love it.
It's so generous.
I got to be honest, Jessica. If you won $1 million, would you give it all away?
I wouldn't give it all away, but I absolutely would definitely give to things that resonate with me. I mean, there's a number of organizations and people that I know that have worked their asses off their whole life that don't ask for anything and have some things that they really could use in their life. Yes, I would love to be able to do that. I always said my dream.
But it seems like these ladies, though, like gave the bulk of it. Because in 2022, $1 million doesn't go as far as people think.
Of course.
So
you're lucky if you can find a house for $1 million as a starter home in most of the country now, not just here.
For sure. Like, it's impossible to own your own home at this point. Yep. So anyway, I just think they're lovely. I think they're beautiful humans. I love what they're doing for their community. And that stuff does have a lasting impact.
Yes.
So kudos to you, ladies. I really admire you. Mm-hmm.
It's very, very generous.
Indeed.
And what the holidays are supposed to be about, right?
Helping others, giving back. Yes.
Absolutely.
Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Do you want to tell everybody one more time how to get a hold of us? I know it just happened, but that's okay.
Facebook and Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. TikTok at the Rants and Raves P. YouTube, the Rants and Raves Podcast. Our website, the rantsandravespodcast.com. You can hit the contact button, and through Gmail, the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com. That was really hard for me to get out. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I actually was like looking down, preparing for my next bit of speaking. And then I looked up because I was like, she sounds like me trying to say this. Because there was a time where we just turned saying all that information. Yes. And I just could not say it. And you were always so like lyrical. And then you ended by going .com. Like, so we always just let you do it. But yeah, you struggled. It's okay. I did. I struggled reading straight from the page today, so no worries. Jessica, did you watch anything or listen to anything or read
White Lotus Season 2, White Lotus Season 2, White Lotus Season 2.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, you're really on that. Really
it's really I will tell you another thing, because I think you like the movie, which I've never seen, and I know you love this man that I'm about to bring up. There's Guardians of the Galaxy. Never seen the movie. They have a holiday special.
It's good.
And guess who it's starring? Kevin Bacon, one of our mutual favorites. He looks as cute as ever.
You guys, you got to start following him.
Yes.
You got to follow him on TikTok or Instagram or something, because he's funny and he's adorable and he's lovely.
he and Anthony Hopkins are just sheer delight on Instagram. Singing, dancing, smiling. Just please. They're living their best life. They seem happy.
Totally. The one I sent you recently, Kevin Bacon was doing a TikTok dance with his daughter, Sophie. And it was so cute. She's a full-grown adult. Like, she's a successful actress in her own right. She's super nice, by the way. I met her when I worked on a little show called Marcos. And by little show, I mean my part was little. The show's huge. My part was tiny. But it was such an amazing experience. And they're getting ready to shoot another project. And I think she was she had done episodes of Marcos before. So she went out to dinner with myself and Scoot and a couple of other actors. And we just had an absolute blast. She was so grounded, so lovely. They all were. Because, you and I have been doing this long enough to know that there's some people that are not grounded and not lovely. And so it's refreshing when you meet those who are.
Exactly. What about you?
Stories we could tell. I actually didn't do a lot of TV watching, even though you would think, yeah, but you were probably in bed. I was, but I was busy burping and analyzing the burps and saying, why did you eat that? So I really didn't watch a ton of stuff besides stuff I normally watch. Yeah, I guess I got nothing to report. I did, however, do something that I forgot to mention at the beginning that I do want to just shout out real quick. On Monday, I went and did one of my favorite things to do in LA, which is Young Storytellers.
Yes.
They are a nonprofit organization that pairs mentors, professional writers with children. They write a piece, and then they have what they call the big show. And we put it on in front of their school. They are brought in as the authors of the pieces. They cast the actors. It's the most nerve-wracking audition I ever have, every time. I was doing it this time with Tony Hale, who I have worked with before, and
he's the best.
Friends over the years. He's just so lovely, and somehow we have several times now been paired together for Young Storytellers, and it just tickles us beyond belief.
Love it.
Yeah, so he and I got to do it again this week together, and it was so fun. And you're also meeting new actors or people you haven't met before.
Yes.
But the most amazing part is the pride and confidence that you see in the children. And it is so well deserved, because these children do not self-edit. They do not have that sense of, what if this isn't good, that we all struggle with. They just write from their hearts. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. There's never been a time that I have done Young Storytellers that we haven't walked away going, I mean, somebody needs to make that a show, right? That needs to be a movie, right? Every time. Children are so inspirational. I always walk away feeling 10 times better than I did before. Young Storytellers, if it's not something you have in your area, maybe look it up and model it. Because even if you have people in your community theaters that love performing, that would act these children's things out for them. And then afterwards they come up, they get our autographs on their scripts so they can keep it forever.
How cute.
And they talk to us. And I always shake all of their hands and I look them dead in the eye and I say, please keep writing. You're so talented. Please keep writing. And I tell them that because I wish somebody had told me that when I was a kid.
It's major.
And I hope they remember it. Yeah.
Totally.
They remember. It's a big day for them. It's in front of their entire school. And I'm telling you, the kids are supportive. I mean, they support each other. They cheer for each other. And not every kid is, you think like actors and stuff are extroverted and, silly all the time. Not all these kids, especially when you're talking about writers are frequently introverted.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, actors are too, but a lot of people don't really know that. But especially writers. And so a lot of these children are very quiet, very shy. And to see their words come to life through another person, you watch them light up. It's huge. It's huge. And to be chosen to act out a certain part for them, the feeling of that is better than booking a job. I'm not kidding.
Yes.
I'm like, me? Oh my God, yes. It's the best. Anyway, check them out if you can. Young Storytellers. Jessica, you need to do it.
I love it. I love it. I do. I would love to do it. Thank you, Dana. It's amazing.
Welcome. We're going to get out of here this week, guys. I do have a little point for you to ponder, and it might help you out in the future. You know how kids are always asking us, or somebody's always saying, why is the sky blue? You know, that question just comes up a lot, and you're like, I don't know, because it is, right? It
exactly.
I got an answer for you, okay? If Earth didn't have an atmosphere, the sky would always be black, as it is on the moon. The atmosphere scatters... You guys, I just burped. I should edit that out. I am going to edit that. That's humiliating. This beautiful thing. I'm going to take it out. The atmosphere scatters sunlight, making it look blue.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yes. The atmosphere. It's our atmosphere scattering sunlight that makes it look blue. And it's funny because I never thought about that when it said... the sky would always be black as it is on the moon. Why has it never crossed my mind? Why is the sky black out there and it's blue here?
Right.
I
haven't thought of that either.
I mean, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed always, but I'm not stupid. But that's never crossed my mind. I thought it was
Me neither. Indeed.
And so even though I'm not breaking down for you into details why the sky is blue, like I can't understand the refractory laws and all of that. But if somebody's like, why is the sky blue? You can go, because of our atmosphere. It scatters the sunlight and makes it look blue. Boom! We'll be back next week.
Thank you, Dana.
You won't catch me looking dumb.
Thank you, Professor Dana.
Tip of the hat to you, a respectful one, ma'am. Bye.
Bye-bye.